Hello, and welcome to the Washington Farm Bureau Update, a podcast designed to provide the latest agriculture, legislative, and Farm Bureau information. Well, greetings, everyone. I'm Ben Tyndall. Now, I'm excited to kick off a new series of episodes with you that we'll be scattering into the lineup over the next few months. We will be interviewing various Washington Farm Bureau staff members. Your WFB team is an amazing and diverse collection of people, and we want you to get to know them, both in their staff role, but also as a person, and give you the chance to hear a bit about them, their work, their background, their interests, and just who they are as a person. I think you will be impressed and possibly a bit surprised with some of the accomplishments and the abilities and the interests and the stories that our Washington Farm Bureau team is comprised of. So in order to kick us off, I am joined with Gwen Perkins, and really, that's about all of the introduction that I'm going to give, because the whole point of this is for Gwen to talk and tell us about herself. So Gwen, tell us about your role with Farm Bureau. What is your title? What is it that job entails?
Okay. Well, I'm a claims consultant, and I have been doing workers' compensation claims in the state of Washington for a little over 16 years. The role that we play here at Washington Farm Bureau is a little more detailed than the actual TPA role. Here we look at other aspects of the workers' compensation claim, such as the safety portion of it, training for our respective focus groups, and generally looking at ways outside of the claims process to save them money. While claims are ultimately our most important goal, we want to make sure that we cover a wide variety of situations or scenarios that might cost the employer money.
Okay, so let's shift a little bit from your job here at Farm Bureau and take us back and tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you grow up? What was that like?
Well, I was raised in an ag-related family, and we kind of wavered between Oregon and Montana. I'm very fond of both states. I'm also very fond of the cattle and crop aspect of both states.
Okay. So you said you were raised in an ag-related family. Was that farming? Was that ranching, dairy? Can you tell us a little bit about the sort of agriculture your family worked in?
Well, that's an interesting question, because my father actually came from a dairy farm environment back in Wisconsin. And they moved out to Oregon and started a dairy farm there. And then we progressed into the Montana area. So I'm familiar with dairy. I'm familiar with beef cattle, as well as winter wheat and red barley.
So all of the above is what I'm kind of hearing. Exactly. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, now you've been working, you said, with Farm Bureau, if I understand correctly, for about 16 years?
No, I've actually been working on workers' compensation for 16 years, but I've been with Farm Bureau for 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. So what was it that drew you to Farm Bureau? How did that transition happen?
I felt a need to help farmers in any way that I possibly could. And my most recent experience with workers' compensation led me to think that I could save them money. I could help them in their business focuses here in the state of Washington. I felt like, because I had been a business owner, that I could positively impact an employer's stance on a claim. And I like to think that I look at it fairly. I don't automatically assume, because I'm an employer advocate, that the employer is always right or that the worker is always wrong. I like to kind of take the middle road and gather the information. I found after a couple years, I wasn't too bad at it. So it gave me a lot of pleasure to see a claim come to resolution.
Now, I did catch that you referred to yourself as a business owner. What can you tell us about the business or businesses that you've operated? What does that look like?
Well, I've had my own cattle, Santa Gertrudis. I also had the Arabian horses that I bred. I gave riding lessons. I did horse training for years.
Sure.
So I have a little bit of that to fall back on when I look at a claim here and we talk about the physical aspects of it. Entirely possible I've done that.
Yes. Okay. So when you're not working here at Farm Bureau, what can members or listeners expect you to be doing? What other hobbies or interests do you have?
Well, I have horses.
Okay.
And they are a passion, and they have been a passion of mine for years. Initially, when I went to college, I decided I wanted to ride in the flat saddles. And my father said, if you want to ride like the Europeans, you'll have to figure it out for yourself. So I joined the military, and I went over to Germany and rode dressage over there.
Oh, wow.
When I came back over to the United States, I continued the focus on horses, and I bred and raised and showed Arabian horses, particularly the Krabbit and the Polish lines. I progressed into riding dressage, and I still ride dressage today.
Do you? Okay.
I have an Oldenburg mare. She's an imported mare. She was a show jumper, and now she's being trained to go dressage.
Okay. Now, for individuals such as myself, explain dressage. What does that mean?
The best way to look at dressage is to think of it as a dance on horseback.
Okay.
It is an Olympic sport, and we do have different levels, starting from the intro all the way up to the Grand Prix levels. Like I said, best described as a dance on horseback, or if you're familiar with ice dancing, that's another way to look at the similarities. We do a pattern. Sometimes we do it to music. Sometimes we just do a pattern without music. But it's all about the partnership between the horse and the rider and performing certain elements of the test.
Oh, I can only imagine. Now I want to go look it up. It sounds like it's probably something very beautiful, very enjoyable.
It can be.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
It can be, yes.
So what is something, as you think about kind of back over your story and the impressive amount of things that you've been able to do and accomplish, what is something that Gwen Perkins is proud of? What would you point us to?
I would have to say my daughter. I raised her as a single parent. She has become a super mom. She is an entrepreneur in her own right. She supports small businesses in her marketing, branding, and internet services. I think she's doing a wonderful job, and she's providing the community with an indispensable service.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now you called her a super mom, so it sounds like you have a grandchild or two or more.
I do. I have two grandchildren, Taylor, a young boy, and Chloe, a little girl who is all about tutus. But they are excelling in their schoolwork. They are making me very proud.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. So over the years, who is someone that inspires you? Who is someone that is either a positive role model or has been a positive example to you and helped shape you in your life?
When I look back at all the people I've known, there's been a lot of people, but I have to really focus on my father. He came into the world at a time when the world wasn't such a nice place. The Depression, they had a fire that destroyed their dairy farm in Baraboo, Wisconsin. He ultimately lost his father in a fishing accident as a teen. He had a lot of barriers that some of us would find very daunting. And he ended up, striving, overcoming all those things. And between he and my mother provided us with a lovely, caring, supportive family environment.
Ah, that is beautiful. What a testament to your father. Well, as we wrap this up, is there anything that you, as a claims consultant with the Washington Farm Bureau, would identify as important? That when people contact you, you want to make sure that they know blank, or that you are able to influence them in a particular way. What do you hope people take away from their experience with you?
I hope they see me as a genuinely caring individual who's concerned about what they and the farming community are facing and what they'd like to do. I think I pride myself on giving them the extra time to maybe share something personal, because all those things give me a better picture of what I need to do to help them, through the quagmire of workers' compensation.
Well, Gwen, I think that gives us a little snippet of your story and your life. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing with me. I really appreciate it. And I know our listeners will as well.
I hope so. And I look forward to talking with them all.
Well, that was fun. And I hope you enjoyed listening to Gwen and some of her story as you get to know her. And we look forward to the upcoming months as we're able to share and roll out more stories from your Washington Farm Bureau staff as we seek to serve and support you. The WFB Update is a production of the Washington Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture in Washington State, ensuring our family farms continue to feed the world. To learn more, visit our website at www.wsfb.com.